Hello everyone and welcome to my part of the presentation. My name is Amalia and I invite you to take up a time machine with me and go 100 years into the future. Okay, let's go to Mars right now. 1 second. Okay, now that we're here, what does it look like? To begin to even think about that is absolutely crazy. But as we already know, space expedition is being planned. To begin, SpaceX is not the only organization that is attempting to get to space. There are many other organizations, like these ones, that are also planning to move there, and some of them plan to stay and create a civilization entirely on Mars. At first, the one we already discussed, we have SpaceX. And then, I would love to bring up two of them, Mars Society and Asgardia Nation. Okay, so let's look at this Mars Society and see what it's talking about. What do you think it is? What do you think they're going to plan? What do you think they're trying to get to? Okay. So, the organization, the Mars Society, is determined to make a complete movement of human civilization on Earth and start their own civilization there. They have already found ways to alter the atmosphere on Mars in order to grow crops outside of the domes that people would live in, among many other things that they are trying to attempt. However, for now, they don't have enough funding, so what they're trying to do is hold conferences around the world in order to bring the knowledge to people about this and see who would be interested. However, I believe Asgardia Nation is more interesting. The first time I heard Asgardia Nation, I actually thought it was a joke or some kind of keyword from Star Wars, something along those lines. But I went into the website, I looked it up, I looked the whole thing. It's absolutely real and it's all insane. For starters, you can become a citizen. What I want to take a look at is how they're going to work in the future. I'm not talking the first few months when you get to Mars. I'm thinking how it will function in the long term. Asgardia has a solution for that. Asgardia has already developed a decentralized organization of government in which an algorithm will work in providing the needs of the people. Asgardia is highly determined in being completely democratic and transparent to its citizens. In order to do so, they've already also developed a system of currency, which would be called the solar, which would have a 1-to-1 ratio with the euro in order for citizens of Asgardia to go back and forth from Earth to Mars and be able to afford living in both places. Living in space, probably really expensive. I don't know, but for now, I'm sure it is. One of the other things about Asgardia Nation that is really interesting to look at is the fact that they have changed the calendar. They will no longer revolve around the sun as we do because they're on Mars and days are longer. So they've chosen to adapt to a new calendar that has 13 months and varies on constellations. However, Asgardia Nation, Mars Society, and SpaceX, they're working on it. But none of them have really experienced what it's like to live on Mars, to truly have a society there and see the functioning of it. So I invite you to wonder with me some of the questions I have, because honestly, I would love to go there. I have 1,000 questions in my mind, but I'll just share a few because after all, you're looking at me through a video, probably getting bored, so please bear with me for 20 minutes. No, kidding, just 5 minutes extra, okay? So, first thing is how a society is going to function economically. Will they have jobs? Will you go to university? How does school work? Will it be communist because of the system that we have? Everyone has a role and you just do that and you work on whatever you have? Will there be social classes? Is this going to be like Earth, or will these be an entire different society? Because SpaceX plans on arriving there, on establishing a place where humans can live. But as we have seen with COVID-19 and confinement, when you're trapped in a place for a long time, you go kind of crazy. So how are they going to keep people? How are they going to make people on Mars have a purpose, have a passion, and be interested every day to live in it? And let's take this one step further. What about space surgery? What will you think about getting operated on a zero gravity location? Scientists for now have no clue how to do it. Science has also discovered that your body goes through serious changes once it's been in space for too long. At first, there's muscle atrophy, there's high levels of radiation, and one thing that I think is kind of creepy is the fact that your bodily fluids will all go to the head and your blood volume will reduce. will be allowed to go? Will you be able to go because of your body? Will bodies adapt on Mars differently than here on Earth? Earth right now is in a really bad situation. How will we be able to move if we don't know the answers yet? What worries you about space? Would you do it? And then my final question, and the one I like the most. I've asked this to myself since I was young as 3 years old, something like that. When I was young, I really wanted to be an astronaut, and black holes fascinated me. But the thing that fascinates me the most is thinking about life outside of Earth. Are we the only ones?